C++, we can pass arguments to a function in different ways. Call by value and call by reference. In call by value, the actual value that is passed as argument is not changed after performing some operations on it. Whereas in call by reference, the actual value that is passed in as an argument is changed after performing some operation on it. In call by value, as said, the actual value that is passed as an argument is not changed after performing some operation on it. Because when call by value is used, it creates a copy of that variable into the stack section in memory. When the value is changed, it changes the value of that copy, then the actual value remains the same. Whereas in call by reference, it creates a copy of the reference of that variable into the stack section in memory. It uses a reference to get the value. So when the value is changed using the reference, it changes the value of the actual variable. Let's understand this through program. Let's see what is call by value. So let's write a function fun, which is returning nothing, so void. The function name is fun, and let's say it is taking an integer entity. Let us name it as x. Now I'll write the function definition here, and let's say I'm modifying the x value as 12, and let me use a cout statement, and let it print inside fun, and let it print the value of x here. Okay, so this is my function definition. My function is not returning any value, so void. Function name is fun, and it is taking an integer argument x. So the parameter that you specify within the function definition is referred to as the formal parameter. Now let's invoke this function inside the main. So let me have a variable x. Let me initialize it with say 34. Now I'm going to invoke my function here by calling the function fun, and let me pass the argument as x. So the argument that you pass when you call the function is referred to as the actual argument. Now let me print the value of x inside main. That is from where I am invoking the function fun. Now, how is this working? So the program execution starts with main. So inside the main, you have a local variable x initialized with 34. This is the function call, or this is your actual argument. I am passing this x here with the value 34. It is received by your formal argument x, and within the function definition, x is modified as 12. So inside the fun, the output here, it's pretty clear. You are going to get 12. Now, after the executing the task of your function, it comes back from where it was called. So the function returns the control to the main, and the next it is printing the value of x. So here it is expected to print 34 because you have passed the value. You have passed the argument by value. So as said, if you are passing the argument by value method, whatever changes you do to the formal parameter will not be reflected onto the actual. Why? Because when you call the function, a copy of this x is taken and then given to your formal parameter. So the original remains the same. So the original is kept as 34 here. It has not changed. A copy of this 34 is taken and given to the formal parameter. Onto that copy, you have modified the value to 12. So the actual remains unchanged. It is 34 and the copy is modified as 12 within the function definition. Let's verify this. Yes, we are getting an expected output here. Inside fun, the output is 12, the value of x is 12, and inside the main, the value of x is 34. So in pass by value method or call by value method, whatever changes you make to the formal parameter will not be reflected onto the actual parameter, because a copy of the actual parameter is taken and then given to the formal parameter. Now let's understand what is call by reference or pass by reference. So I'm using the same program, only slight changes I'm going to do here. So x I have initialized with 34. I'm calling the function by passing this x. Now if you are following pass by reference or call by reference, the formal parameter has to be received as reference. So how will you modify this as reference? We have seen with the reference variables section. So just use the reference operator. Now you are calling this function by reference, the second method. So you are passing the actual argument here. It is received as a reference variable into the formal parameter. So we have seen the properties of the existing variable and the reference variable. They are alias. Whatever changes you make to one will be reflected onto the other. So same happens here also. X is your actual argument and this is the reference of that. So whatever changes you make to the actual parameter or whatever changes you make to the formal parameter will be reflected onto the actual. So what will be the output for these two cout statements? The program execution starts with main, x is equal to 34. You're going to pass this 34 here. This 34 is received as reference and that reference you are modifying as 12. So now your actual, so this output will give you 12. Now you have modified the reference value here. So the same is going to be reflected onto the existing variable. So here inside the main also you will be getting the output as 12. That is, if you're calling a function by reference or if you're passing an argument by reference, whatever changes you make to the formal parameter will be reflected onto the actual parameter because it is passed as reference. And we have seen in the reference variables topic, whatever changes you make to the reference variable will be reflected onto the existing or the actual variable. Let's verify our output. Yes, you're getting an expected output. Inside the function and inside the main, you can see the x value is 12. So this is passed by reference or call by reference method. Let's have a comparison of the two methods, call by value and call by reference. In terms of arguments, in call by value method, the value of each variable in the calling function is copied to corresponding dummy variables of the call function. Whereas the second method, call by reference, the addresses of actual variable in the calling function are copied into the dummy variables of the call function. So what is the impact of that in your program? In call by value method, whatever changes you do to the formal parameter will not be reflected onto the actual. Whereas in call by reference, the changes will be reflected. In terms of safety, in call by value, the actual arguments remain safe as they cannot be modified accidentally. whereas in call by reference, the actual arguments are not safe. They can be accidentally modified.